Hola, buenos dias. It's your Unified Ascension Azure here. Um, there's a question that people have been asking about the Waters Continuum and its tremendous forces going through its energy cycles through the galactic system and the energy core. When you're going underwater, you don't have to be, I mean, the minimum is maybe 30 seconds to a minute. It doesn't take that long to meditate. Just meditate on wait until you see the pineal gland through its transmission. Once you see that, you see the electrolytes, and you'll see the connection force through the energies going into you. So the reason why I say that is because either way, the energies are going to go into you through its waters. But if you do it underwater, you get more tremendous force and it's less pressure for you. So that's the reason why it's better to do that. You can do it in a pool, you can do it in the ocean, you can do it in the sea, you can do it in a lake, it doesn't matter. It just has to be waters. So you get full collaboration and through relationship. Not partnership yet, because we're still going through that rainbow bridge. And through that rainbow bridge is the river of light. So it has a tremendous connection right now through its gravitation. So, I like to thank the higher self and for the love and support that you guys have been giving me, and for the subscribers and viewers. I don't know what I'd do without you guys. Your amazing support system. I'd like to thank everybody. Welcome to my channel. It's a little bit cold today. The moon is surfacing through its oceanics right now, so it's dipping into the Arctic. Not so much the Arctic, but it's surfacing. Really, it gets cold, and then sometimes the galactic sun comes out, depending on where its alignments are and where it's setting throughout its atmosphere in space continuum. So today I'd like to talk about the totality of your body system, how you can create your own energy cycles through its bodies. What I mean by that is to have the perfect match of what you want as who you want to become. Now, everybody's superhuman in their own sense. Everybody's their own superhero. But to get there is to understand the toning of your body and its systems. The ecosystem is very important because it's your diet and what you take in on a day-to-day basis. And your body capacitor is your force within and without when it comes to physicality. Working out is very important. You don't have to work out half hour, 45 minutes, 5-10 minutes a day. Just rotate your arms and legs and your neck and all that, just to get yourself up motivated. Try to meditate in the mornings. Mornings are really good because you're just waking up to a new day. In the afternoon, if you feel like you need to find out if you can meditate and when to meditate, when's the best time to meditate, write out a chart, write out a schedule. If you find it hard to meditate, just do that. That way you look at the schedule and say, oh, okay, I didn't meditate today. Okay, so I'll meditate tonight. So as long as you get those meditations in, that's great. So the solar energies right through its Waters Continuum is going to be a connection through you. So this is where the yin and the yang comes in with the flowing, because water crashes and it flows. It's still and it's calm. It synchronizes its own element through space continuum, and it has amazing force throughout its solar systems. I mean, just think how many oceanics there are through its plantation of other solar systems. Because there are waters continue on other planets. You just got to allow your higher self to get there and travel and see. It's tremendous to know that you can actually take your higher self to find chakra formations and fly anywhere you want to go. and have that connection force. So yesterday was about letting go and surrendering. I think that's the hardest thing to do, is to surrender yourself, surrender the ego. The ego plays a big part of your personality, the positive and the negative. You put those together, it unites. Now the whole idea is to unite the flame, keep the flame going, but without the ego. You can't let the ego get in the way. So this is more depth of the ego itself. The repetition of its ground formation through its ego system is the dichotomy of separation. Now remember I said how my self-identity has split through its identity? When you understand its sacred universe, the sacred mind, the sacred heart, the sacred soul, the sacred self, definitive self, the higher self, and then you start mastering your meditation methods, you can get more of an understanding of how to surrender yourself through space continuum. Surrendering allows you and defeats everything around you through its negative source. It doesn't play a part with the dark, only the light. People say you need the dark to keep yourself balanced. True, but it's better to have the light, knowing you have the light every day. Having the dark is knowing that you have that, but you want to put that behind. You don't want to keep that balanced. If you keep that balanced, what happens is either the negative takes over the positive, and the positive gets confused, and that's what I'm talking about, the higher self. The higher self knows exactly what it's doing through its space continuum and its force, how it has its positive feeds. The negative feeds, the higher self can go the other way. Now, if you're trapped, or if you are the higher self and you are going through something that you're not sure of, make sure you do your research on your higher self before you go through space continuum. Know exactly your intelligence and your plantations that you come across. Those are most important thing when it comes to the higher self. Do your research on your solar systems, wherever you're flying to. Understand the geographical system, understand the string theory, understand intelligence, understand its communication levels, understand its radioactive. Now, radioactive is it's part of the body capacitor. And remember how I say you just do a handshake, you get connection through its force and its energy cycles through intelligence, and then that becomes, a friend. You become friends with intelligence and its plantation. How it has its every planet has a rock formation and its crust. So it has its outer limits and it has its inner limits, and it has its liquid. Liquid is the mostly the center part, where it keeps its rotation and its flow through its continuous force, and its elements through its energies, and the atoms, the molecules, the separation, the DNA structure. Every time you're flying, you're going through a different element through vibration. And those vibrations, once you get to harmonics, it's incredible. I recommend you really, really try hard on your meditation methods, understand your research on your higher self, because the higher self goes to a higher dimension. And every time the higher self goes to a higher dimension, it has to know exactly what it's up against. If you're meditating and you're coming across something you don't understand, then there's a problem. You don't want to have a problem with the higher self. Now, a lot of people go up into space continuum and they're at their higher self, but they want to cut back down because it's too much force or too much energies, or they see something they don't want to see. That's totally normal. That's what happens when the ego gets in the way. You don't want the ego get in the way. You want to push that aside. Not just push it aside, you want to let it go. And that's where you surrender. That's what I mean by totality, is understanding how to get the body system through the body capacitor and the ego systems fully and completely with the sacred heart, synchronizing heart. Those things are extremely important when it comes to space continuing. Once you understand your heart, then you have the unconditional love, freedom. And I'm sure everybody wants to be free every day. Sure, you have your ups and downs, that's fine, and there's not a problem there, but you don't want to get too ahead of yourself with your higher self. You focus on the day, and that's it. You don't focus on tomorrow because it's not here. Forget about yesterday because it's gone. These are tips. You can also get them in books. Books help you out a lot too. They give you tips. I find don't sweat the small stuff, because the negativity takes over the positive, and you don't want that. Once you surrender yourself, your ego is separated through dichotomy, and you live a fulfilling life. You really do. And it's always balanced. So once you know that, it's incredible. It really is. Just to have that full completion of yourself, and it's continuous force that it provides. You get to understand yourself, your higher self, your definitive self, the inner and outer child. You understand its atmosphere and your energy fields, your energies. Now, the energies itself, through its Waters Continuum, this is where you really, really need to know your cycles and what's happening through the waving patterns, its connection through its waters. So once you get a collaboration with that, then things are really good. Also, too, what you want to do is we're coming up into a acceleration force through vortexing. So get prepared. We're coming across that right now. But right now we're in the river of light. I will show exactly those energies that are going to go through, because I'm getting communication from spaceships and aliens, and my galactic friends are telling me that get ready for the acceleration speed. So you're going to go through a tremendous force, and you're going to feel really, really fast. The energies are going to go like, whoa, where did that go? It's like it's going right through you. It's invisible. Energy is invisible. You can't see it. It's translucent. But to understand it is a totally different thing. And that's what I mean by totality and its body capacitor and its ecosystems. So I'll keep you informed with what's happening with that through Space Continuum and its acceleration, speed, and force. We are definitely going to go through another worm tunnel. We have to, because the River of Light has its connection, but its ground formation is a lot tricky. And what I mean by tricky, it's going to be the force is going to be a lot more heavy. And what I mean by that is it's kind of like a speeds continuing through times continuing. So, having a little of a cat interference here again. One thing about cats, they're very connected through their spiritualism, and they're loving animals. It's great to have them. They give you love and support, and they're providers too, which is great through Space Continuum. So yeah, you're gonna feel that. That's what's gonna be coming next. So I'll keep you posted and updated. All right. So question or comments? This is your unified ascension, Azareth, calling out. Adios, everybody.